911. Stool softener? Blood test.
Cancer, whatever.
Suzanne, quick, go to medical school. I'm sick.
So we get to the hospital. I even brought the little stool sample thing, so in case they needed to see it, which they did. So they brought me to the back room, and they're like, we heard about you. Get in the fetal position, motherfucker. They brought me in the back room, and it's like, you know, the ER. It's like you sit there forever, and they do tests, and they drew blood. I fucking hate shots. And the same thing they said, you're really, really bad off. You have severe anemia. You need a blood transfusion, they said. And I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean a blood transfusion? Because I didn't know. It's like, I guess they said your red blood cells are really small. So that hampers carrying oxygen. And there's very few of them, you know, relatively. So you're going to need a blood transfusion. You need, 4 units. Maximum's 5.
Holy shit.
And I guess that's if you have no blood in it at all. And
so how could little Johnson get going then without we have that little body?
Right. I would have fucking passed out if I got a boner.
Thank
Yeah.
God they didn't stick another finger in your ass.
Yeah. If he had, I actually at one point I backed up into it. I was just like, come on, daddy. Little Johnson came, I passed out and I woke up outside in front of the doctor's office in the snow. Probably just in the ER, because so many people see you in the ER. 3 people said, like, I can't even believe that you're standing up.
Yeah, that's what your mom was like, almost a sense of pride that her boy
that was tough.
Was like the toughest fucking midget in the circus, you know. He was like
toughest anemic of all.
Yeah, like what a normal man would have
last
been
anemic
down.
standing.
So that's what I told him.
Like
he can hang his hat on anything. He walked around where most people would have been out on their feet. He walked around like a fucking, not like a trooper, but he walked around like a he walked around.
I got to give him something.
What a tombstone epitaph for Brian Johnson. He walked
I'm definitely
around.
getting that on my gravestone,
But she was.
People are out etching gravestones. They're like, what the hell this one means? He walked around.
But when I talked to your mom that evening, she was like, yeah, the doctor said that, and he shouldn't have even been able to stand up, let alone walk around.
Yeah. Or drive myself to the hospital but yeah, that was the recurring thing. People kept saying that, like they would read it and then they'd be like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe you're walking around. You know,
that must feel so great to hear.
Well, I'm just like, well, what do you mean? Yeah. Like I should be falling down. But they said, the one doctor said this is like dangerously close. Like you're in heart attack territory.
Jesus, man.
Like if I had been like, fuck it, and maybe waited a little bit longer, he said it's likely you would have had a heart attack. So downstairs, they gave me the 1 thing of blood, the 1 unit. And she goes, well, we're going to get a room ready for you. No, I don't want to stay. And I'm like, well, maybe I could just do it here. Maybe I could convince them to do it. And I said, well, because it was a girl, I don't know what the hell is wrong with her, but like she was next to me, she was crying and shit. And I said, well, maybe somebody else needs a room more than I do. Why don't I just do it here and then I'll go home? And she was like, you're not going home. She was like, you gotta stay. So they gave me a room and Pam assured me that it was like a private room. When I got up there were 2 beds. So there was nothing private about it, but I still didn't feel better, you know, even after the 1 thing of blood. And we got upstairs and then throughout the night, they just hook you up and like I have like an IV for the blood thing and like you're trying to sleep and the blood's it's giving you more energy little by little. So you're sort of waking up a little bit. So I didn't go to bed until late that night. Oh, so like you're hooked up and it's uncomfortable and you don't know, they still don't know what's going on. They don't know why I'm bleeding. They did the test, but they didn't find any blood in the stool. There's no blood in the urine. I'm not throwing up blood, you know, so they don't know what's going on. And then my roommate comes up at, I don't know, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And he's an old guy in his 70s, probably. I overheard, like he said he had fallen like on some black ice. He made sure that everyone knew it was black ice. So he's not like, I'm not some doddering old fool who wandered onto an ice patch. and his legs blew up. They were like full of water and shit. So it's like, it's never, and the whole floor that I'm on, it's mostly old people. I was like the kid. And some of them that they seem not really with it. Like one old guy kept trying to bite the attendant, you know, somebody tried to start a fire. Like, what's up?
A zombie.
It could have been a zombie outbreak. I didn't think of that. I didn't spread the word. But the old guy, when I went to the bathroom, I glanced over and he's reading a gun magazine.
In your bedpan?
What's that?
In a bedpan?
Yeah, he's digging around in my bedpan. I'm like, hey, old man.
Wait, you went to go to the bathroom. You went to the bathroom and looked like in the bed and looked over at him?
No, yeah, I just pissed myself. I'm like, hey, what's up?
No, I meant in a bedroom.
No, I went to the bathroom. There's a bathroom right
I was like, oh man, that'd be fucked up. I was like, how could you really go to the bathroom in front of somebody?
Yeah, no. There was no bedpan. It was, although I had become accustomed to it by that point, just shitting into these little pans and pots.
So you left the door open when you went?
So no, I walked by his bed.
You said you looked at him when you were going to the bathroom.
No, I glanced over him as I was going to the bathroom, not as I was taking. Yeah, on my way to the lavatory, as I specify. I'm just on the ball. I'm like, what's up with you?
Black ice, huh?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll do it to you.
I got nothing in
I
me.
gotta check this out. See if I got blood. Doctor jammed his finger on my butt the other day. Nothing. So he's reading a gun magazine. Like like reading about magazines and shit, like bullets and magazines and stuff. And I went to the bathroom.
That's a sign, like, you know.
That's what I thought, right?
Don't fuck with me.
Cause, he's like looking at me. He's like, well, you want to die, motherfucker? Stay out of my shit. Stay out of my little cubby. No, and then some lady came over shortly after that. And he's like, well, did you hide the gun that was on the chair? And did you put the shotgun away? He's going. He had like 3 or 4 guns in his house, right? And then I went to the bathroom again. This had to be fucking 2 hours later, and he's still looking at that gun magazine, like leafing through it and shit. You know, like looking at all sorts of ammo and that kind of shit. And when I laid down, it was like quiet, and I just hear him going, "Gotcha." Gotcha. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that. No, he didn't do that.
You're like, this isn't.
No, he didn't do that, but he was very consumed. It's not the last time he mentioned guns either, like over the next couple days. I didn't really talk to him for the first day or two. And Saturday, I thought I'd get out because they said they had to do colonoscopy and an endoscopy. One goes down your throat, one goes up your ass. And to find out what's going on. Why am I bleeding?
2-hole Johnson.
You know? Yeah. Like he has 2 holes going. They're like, we told this guy he has to have 2 holes going. Look. All the medical students laughing their asses off for a 2-way mirror.
You're gargling with fucking Listerine, fucking powder in your ass.
They're like, look at him raising his ass up. Look at him.
Making himself trying to look pretty.
Yeah. Like when I was out, people had drawn shit on my ass. They're like, insert dick here. But that was the first time it was mentioned. They're like, potential colon cancer. So now but I can't get the test because they don't do these tests in the hospital until Monday. They don't do them on weekends. So now Saturday, Sunday into Monday, you're like, do I have cancer? And there's no reason.
That's why I thought you'd be like Bristol Palin would be like on the fucking, would be way, way, way down on the ladder.
Nah, she's still a fat moron. But it was weird before, I went to get something to eat right before I went to the hospital, like before I checked into the ER, I wanted to get something to eat. And I saw 2 people with cancer in the same restaurant. And I get really like,
how do you know?
Because they're fucking like younger and they have like the bald head and stuff, but it's not like skinhead, like I hate black people. It's like, I just got back from chemo with the scarf and shit. So, you start to think, you're like, wow, like, I'm 43. It's not like I'm fucking a kid, cancer is possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. And it's the kind of thing you always think like, that happened to so-and-so, or that happened to somebody, like that happened. You're somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, you're a stranger to somebody. So if I get it, they're like, oh wow, that fucking dude, I overheard that dude has cancer. It's like, glad it's not me, So for the next couple of days, you're like, I didn't think that it was, because the signs weren't pointing to it, but they weren't ruling it out. You know what I mean? It's still kind of fucking scary, you know? Sure. So most of you just sat around. Like there was really not much to do Saturday and
I thought it was a good
Sunday.
sign that you were concerned, though.
That I was concerned?
Yeah, because prior to this, though, and I wondered if you found out, would you have been even like
cancer, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And when I told my wife, I was like, it's a really good sign that he's scared.
Yeah, I like to see him.
Mentally,
Whites of his eyes.
No, because
scared rabbit.
That's why I know that it's not as bad as everybody was thinking.
Oh, that I didn't care about anything at
Yeah.
all, right? Yeah, because you got a call from a friend of ours who's like, "Did he off himself?" Yeah.
They don't shovel down there.
I was wondering why when you showed up you had Zapsic with you.
Why would you watch Star Wars?
Oh, still watching TV, I see.